Hi, so today we're talking about the educational sphere of our five spheres, and specifically, we're talking about growth mindset. We're hearing that word more often nowadays. Noel, can you tell us what growth mindset means?
When we're talking about the concept of a growth mindset in regards to the educational sphere, we're talking about the interest in continuing education. And that really means that even if we've completed schooling or even if we're in school, that our growth mindset takes us not only through additional schooling, but also into what we might call informal learning. So we're constantly being students in life. I think it was Socrates who said, if there, I know one thing and it's that I know nothing. And if we take that into consideration, what we want to keep in mind is that with the growth mindset, we're constantly learning. There's not a checkbox to say we're done. You're continually adding new skills, learning new things, challenging guideposts that
New
you've held on
hobbies?
to. New hobbies, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. That would all fall into that growth mindset.
Which we find as we get older, we have kids, a career, et cetera, et cetera. We forget about hobbies or things we're interested in. We're always taking care of other people. So give me an example of us lacking in growth mindset or finding or continuing our growth mindset.
Sure. Well, I mentioned it earlier, and I think with a growth mindset, those of us who have guideposts where we feel we know certain things and we sort of hang on to that knowledge, as we progress as a human race, certainly there's more information that we come upon, and a growth mindset will allow you to acquire this new information and quite possibly, Sabrina, move you off that guidepost. So what we may have thought 10, 15, 20 years ago may not still be true today, or only portions of it are true. I know a lot of people, especially those in the professional community, they're familiar with growth mindset because they're having to do things like continuing education. As being attorneys, we have to do a certain amount of continuing education. That's a growth mindset. That's part of complementing the growth mindset. So that's one example in the professional setting. From a personal standpoint, I would say that for me, as you know, I'm a student of life. I'm constantly looking to learn new things. So for me, growth mindset is acquiring this new information, learning about, for example, cryptocurrencies, learning about AI technology and how that's going to impact the world. All of that falls within my growth mindset, I think.
Yeah, I another example is, I have a friend who says, gosh, lately all I'm doing is running around and, dropping my kids off at dance or soccer or, piano, and I'm not doing anything for myself. So I said, "But what do you want to do?" And they said, "Well, I've
Mm,
always wanted to take martial arts class or learn an instrument." And I said, "Well, that's part of your educational sphere. Seems like it's not
absolutely.
balanced right now. So why don't you squeeze in, even if it's 30 minutes and you're doing it from home?"
Yep, absolutely. And of course, not having a growth mindset, the interplay with your educational sphere and the other spheres of
Uh,
life can be detrimentally impacted as a result of not having that growth mindset.
Yeah, maybe your mental sphere, right? I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
not growing.
Absolutely.
I'm in
Absolutely.
my 40s and I'm in a rut.
Yep. Your financial sphere can be impacted, but if you don't know enough, if you're not aware of things that are happening, not only just around you and your immediate surroundings, but in the world in general, that could impact maybe perhaps your employment or future potential for employment, and therefore financially, you're going to
Yeah.
have a difficult challenge.
I have to tell you, as you know, my cousin and I are co-hosting a podcast called Indian Explorers, and I
Love
feel
it.
that has enriched my educational sphere dramatically. I mean, I'm meeting people from all different industries. Although they're all Indian, they all have different backgrounds because they've all grown
Mm.
up in different parts of the world. So I'm learning so much that is so
Amazing. Yep.
beneficial for me. So,
It's amazing. Yes,
yeah. How,
absolutely.
anything else you want to add about this topic?
Just want to reinforce that point and really drive it home. Having a growth mindset is going to open so many opportunities for you because being a constant student of life, if you want to call it that, you're learning and being introduced to new concepts, challenging your own beliefs, as I said, challenging your own guideposts. You know, the ability to progress as a human being means that sometimes what you may have done or known in the past, if you're challenging it because there's new information, that's a good thing. You know, it can lead to some anxiety. I believe in the psychological world, they refer to that is cognitive dissonance, I think. And
Mhm.
so some people can be so overwhelmed by this new information that it just totally turns their world upside down. Now, obviously, if things like that are happening, you know, having a growth mindset is something that will allow you to sort of absorb that over time. And as you're continually learning, feeling much more confident about what you actually know. I think that's a critical point too, is learning is such a valuable thing, and it's a good thing, and you don't have to be afraid of it. And having a growth mindset will allow all of that to happen.
Yeah, I love that. So, continue learning, keep an open mind, welcome new knowledge and information. So wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful topic. Thank you.